And that's a perfect transition into our first case.
That's why I said it.
The class of school children in Zimbabwe, they brought in a Harvard pediatric psychologist.
This alleged encounter caught the attention of Pulitzer Prize-winning Harvard psychiatrist Dr. John Mack.
The entire class of school children in Zimbabwe, they all drew the exact same UFO and alien when asked about it. And so basically what happened is these children are out at recess, out playing. Something lands in the distance. They go check it out. No teachers were there. No adults were there. But every single child said the same exact thing. They saw the same exact thing.
And he had big eyes.
He had a big head and big black eyes.
It had big eyes. That's all I saw about it, big eyes.
Down to what they felt when they locked eyes with the alien, that it was some sort of warning that our technology was bad. Some sort of like feeling took them over that something's wrong with humans and our technology, and just to be aware of it.
I think they want people to know that we're actually making harm on this world and we mustn't get too technologized.
It brought in Harvard psychologist. Every single child passed that examination with flying colors. Not one of them was lying, according to one of the best children's psychologists on the planet. So what happened? Did they see a UFO? Did they see the alien that they all said? Or children's imaginations are pretty crazy, but how do all, 20 of them see and say the exact same thing when questioned individually? You'll get a great view of this, case of this, in The Phenomenon, the documentary called The Phenomenon.
I was just going to mention that because we watched that together, actually. And so he goes into depth with footage and documentation and interview with the Harvard pediatric psychologist. And there's just a lot in there that makes it very convincing, And I think that, what's the guy's name that created that? James Fox. I think he did a great job at putting in as much factual information as he possibly could. And I'm sure he has more information that he couldn't share yet or wasn't cleared yet, or, still classified information that's out there. But I think it was a very well done documentary that kind of taps in and makes you really question things as far as aliens and what's going on this planet.
Well, and they also brought the children back as adults for the documentary, and they all still swore by it. And they said that was the worst thing to ever happen to us because the media frenzy was crazy. We were called liars. We were yelled at. We were blah, 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 blah. And then, as adults looking back on it, they're just like, I that's what we saw.
Yeah. And the main takeaway for the kids, like you said, was the feeling they got. It wasn't words, I don't think. And maybe there's telepathic communication is what they're saying. But it was that what we're doing to this planet. No, this is not a quote for quote, but what we're doing this planet with technology is destroying us. We're doing very bad things with technology, and it's, I don't know, man. I think about that sometimes because we're getting deeper and deeper dived into that world and less in this physical world and spiritual world that we're in, and being rooted and connected to the earth. There's a reason we have grounding, and we are from here. So I don't know. There's a lot going on. I don't know where I'm going with that, but
no, I mean, you combine all of that with all these UFO sightings at military bases and nuclear facilities. That's by far the number one most UFO seen places are nuclear facilities and military bases. So it's like, of course they're trying to warn us about that. We can destroy ourselves and our planet 100 times over with all of our nuclear arsenals. If there's one thing to warn us about, it's that.
Which is one of the dumbest things living on a planet altogether that we can do. And it's the only actual home we have. We got nowhere to go, and we don't have any way to get there, even if we did.
Right.
So the fact that we, out of pure control or greed or whatever the motives are.
Yeah, money, control, yeah.
It's so stupid. We should be getting along and enjoying the beauty of life instead of the worried about us sometimes I just feel like we're just big apes. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point?
Well, how about the story of like the Russian nuclear facility that they see a UFO above? Every missile without any launch codes is prepped to launch, and then it just stops on its own, and then the UFO flies away.
Dude,
it's like
that's a flex right there.
100%. And it's like that could have ended the world.
100%.
We were seconds away from the world ending.
And that's terrifying to show. And then that puts in perspective how little control you when you think you're in control, how little you really have.
Yeah.
If there are, these UFOs out there, what they should have done is launched them and just sent them into deep space where it affected nobody. And then we have nothing left.
Get them out of here.
We don't want these anymore, guys.
I mean, I think the next stage in human evolution will be de-arming the nuclear arsenals of the major powers.
Yeah.
What do we have to do to get there? I don't know, but
just
transform it into nuclear power.
It's like we should be putting our energy into things that make the world better instead of things that can destroy it and each other.
100%. So, I mean, that's one of the most credible UFO sightings ever is this entire group of children seeing this, being analyzed by psychologists, being revisiting 20 years later. Thank you for watching Studio 22.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And follow our socials at Studio 22 Podcast.